The Gartley Harmonic Pattern indicator is available for various platforms on the TradingFinder website. From this section, you can access the indicator on the TradingView site. Use this page to understand the indicator, search for its name and select it. Add to your indicators by enabling Add to Favorites. To access this indicator, search and select the indicator. Add to Favorites for quick access. The indicator then draws the Gartley pattern. It identified a Gartley pattern here. For faster and easier access to this indicator, add it to your indicators by activating the Add to Favorites option. Once the indicator is created, it finds the Gartley pattern. This pattern uses Fibonacci ratios and has 5 points. A bearish pattern has legs: down X to A, up A to B, down B to C, up C to D. If it signals pivot points and a sell, traders can sell. This pattern, which is drawn based on Fibonacci ratios, consists of 5 points. For a bearish Gartley pattern, there should be a downward leg from point X to point A, followed by an upward leg from point A to point B, then a downward leg from point B to point C, and finally, an upward leg from point C to point D. After that, if it signals the pivot points and issues a sell signal, traders can enter a sell trade. In the settings section, it can issue pivot points and sell signals for us, allowing traders to enter a sell trade. In the settings section, in this section, there are options available for us. In the first part, you can select the pivot period settings for the zigzag, which is set to 3 by default. The higher you set this value, the longer-term trend patterns it will identify, and the lower you set it, the shorter-term trend patterns it will recognize. Next, enabling this option shows only accurate patterns, avoiding high noise ones. With it on, this pattern isn't marked as accurate. Turning it off shows all patterns, even noisy ones. We have a level here, and a pattern formed. For example, here by enabling this option, we see that it hasn't identified this pattern as an accurate one, and by disabling this option, it will display all the patterns that have noise as well. To understand better, for example, we have a level here, and after that, a pattern has formed for us. In case if this option is disabled for us, these patterns will be identified and drawn on the charts. If you enable this option, this pattern won't be displayed for us. It will only be displayed if the pattern is complete and provides us with the necessary ratios. For example, here, it will draw a complete pattern for us, and then, with this option enabled, this pattern will be displayed for us. In the next section, by enabling this option, if a pivot is formed for us, it will identify and draw that pattern as confirmation. If this option is disabled, it will display the pattern on the chart as soon as it is formed. To better understand this option, for example, we have a level here. If a pattern is formed for us, for example, in this section, only patterns with a precise pivot will be displayed. A pattern forms and moves downward. By enabling this option, only patterns that have a pivot and a precise pivot will be identified and displayed on the chart. Here, with the pivot period set to 2, you can adjust the pivot settings here. We can see that a pattern is formed here and then it moves downward. Here, with the pivot period set to 2, you can adjust the pivot settings here. We can see that a pattern is formed and then it moves downward. In the next section, you can enable or disable the display of the profit pattern. In this section, you can enable or disable the display of the profit pattern. You can enable or disable it. You can enable or disable the display of the loss pattern. In the next section, you can choose the color of the profit pattern, the color of the loss pattern, the line thickness, and the label size. In the next section, you can choose the color of the profit pattern. You can choose the color of the loss pattern, the line thickness, and the label size. Select from this section. You can choose the theme mode to be either light or dark, or you can set it to off. If you set it to off, the colors will be selected based on your chart's theme. In case your theme is set to dark, set it to off so that the colors are chosen based on your chart's theme. If your theme is set to dark, by selecting this option in dark mode, the color given to the indicators will be based on your dark theme. In the next section, there's the alerts part, where you can enable or disable the alert notifications. Choose name for the alert. You can choose the type of alert frequency, which has 3 options: all, once per bar, and per bar close. Choose the option all to receive alerts in all conditions by selecting the once per bar option, which is set to this option by default. With the once per bar option selected, you will only receive alerts when the candle closes. In the last section, you can also set the alert notifications based on your preferences, and by selecting the per bar close option, you will only receive alerts when the candle closes. And in the last section, you can set the status of alert notifications based on your preferences. Choose your own business and set it based on UTC and place it here. After that, by clicking the option, you can change your settings. This indicator helps traders easily execute their trades on the chart by displaying a buy or sell signal after the pattern is formed. Well, friends, we've reached the end of this indicator tutorial. We would be happy if you share your thoughts and suggestions with us in the comments section.